the matter? Happy, troublemaker. Some more water. Fresh. Fresh. That was it, was it? Bit fresh? So nice. There we go. There we go. Better, innit? Want a little bit of fresh, did ya? Sorry, sir, I didn't know your, I didn't know that specific complaint, Cat. My apologies for disturbing you. I'll take that messy puss, but it's messy enough. Messy enough that we've got some stuff to do, eh? Yeah. We should probably put some music on, Cat, shouldn't we? Not this fucking thing. What? I saw how you buggered off. I saw that, Cat. Make it, make it. Make it, make it. Skulking in it, yeah. Where you going now? Zoomy time. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's that noise? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's all that noise? What do you think you're doing? What are you doing, Buzz? What are you doing, you naughty cat? Zoomy moment. What are you playing at? Galloping all over, cat. Yeah, you I'm talking about. Literally you, cat. I'm looking at you, I'm talking about you. It's with that cat. What is he doing? What is he doing? What are you doing up here? What are you doing now? I swear this is like part of your game, cat, isn't it? What are you doing? What are you doing? Kuma. What are you doing? More water, yeah? I like how you just had to have like a mad 5 minutes. Yeah, what is that, cat? Bruv gets like zoomy feels and he's just like loses his mind and runs upstairs and starts howling. And you're looking at him like, what? What are you doing, boy? Or I was. Isn't it, cat? Just like, what program are you with now? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We've got the successful bed here going. Yeah. Literally, all that galloping around. And then it's just like, okay, I'm knackered now. I need to like drink. Just sort you out, cat. That brief moment of excitement. This fucking town, I swear to God. I'm stuck here for at least another 10 years. At least 10 years, fuck me. This fucking town, bro. This fucking town, mate. The amount of lunatics around here. I should know, I'm one of them. See, what's he doing? Bro goes upstairs and just goes, wow. Kuma, I don't know what it is, boy. I'm unaware of your circumstance. Oh, hang on. I should almost do this. What, boy? Okay, it's loading up, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's under control. I think. I don't know if chat's loading. I think we've got an issue with chat. Here he is, skulk down there again, see that? But, potentially we've got an issue with chat. Maybe. Do I have to reset the app? Will I have to reset the app? No, please help. I mean, if I've got no chat, that's no good. To bring up big screen on there. Can't do that. The wrong angle. Do. Yeah, there's an issue with chat. Chat's not loading. Okay, let's restart this. Okay, we've reset. I have reset, but I can see on there that things are coming up and they're not coming up on the screen, which will mean a short end. A sharp end to the stream. Abrupt. That will be an abrupt ending. An abrupt end to the stream. What is it, boy? Right, lad. Yeah. Bit chill now. Alright. See, I heard that. Oh, it's better. It's back. Good. It's back. Juzzy, good. See the lady go off on that council guy. Did he deserve it? What was the context? I don't know if I've seen that. You're right, lad. I can stroke you when you're up here. You know that, right? You're allowed to come up on here. Like, I don't mind it, but I can stroke you when you're here. Like, I don't know if you're aware. But I can stroke you when you're up here. Like, it's not anything worse, boy. That's a cup of tea. But I know you get like jumpy when you're up here. I don't know why that is. Is that because like this is like a forbidden place? He's all like skulking around. Yeah? You can't really rub that though, can ya? Yeah? Yeah? I slept. Good enough. But I don't know what the context is, Juzzy. There's been a lot of protests and people. There's a thing going around. People just putting flags up everywhere. The same flag thing. But I don't know. He's just like sniffing everything. He's like, right, I'm gonna check it all out. You gonna stay there? What? What? It's about VPN players. I've not seen it, that one. I've not seen that one. They probably were justified. If it was anti-English, they were justified. Because that's the theme at the minute. You're allowed to put up any flag in this country except an English one. You go places in this country now, and there's literal what do you call it? There's literal like Palestinian flags everywhere. That's okay. You can fly flags of a terrorist organisation that rape women and kill children and elderly people. That's all right. But you can't hold the George Cross because, like, I know we probably did some of that too, but like, there's like one's newer or the type of people or something. If you're from that part of the country of the world, I guess you're allowed to like kill babies and stuff. If you did it hundreds of years ago and you was white, I guess that's not allowed. That's our historic cross to bear. You right, boy? What? Why are you looking so worried? Oh, God. Juzzy, trust me. So I went somewhere at the weekend. Okay. You know, when you like swallow it the wrong way. Oh, better. I went somewhere at the weekend, and this town had like a couple of like, it was a very trendy town. Lots of nice, trendy old houses. Very pretty. Very nice. There was a shop there that was selling Gaza flags and like, oh, support Palestine and all this crap. There was a few people with, and some stupid cunt had written "Shame on you, Trump" on a piece of A4 paper and put it in their window. Now this town, whilst I'm walking around it all night, is like literally 99% white, middle class, clean. Don't know if there's much crime there. People's doors open, people's stuff outside in the street. Like the most non-multicultural place, not affected by this sort of stuff. And that's where all these, oh, can you believe Trump and this and that, selling Gaza flags. And it was like one of the whitest places I've ever been. It really was one of the whitest places I've ever been. Just checking it, he was. You just checking it? It's just classic, Juzzy. It's just so typical. Like this person had a "shame on you, Trump" thing in the window. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this town had been kind of... This town had a bunch of stuff. There was a pub in this town, yeah? There was the pub, and the pub had a sign outside that said something like there'd been a pub on that spot since like the 1600s. A bunch of the houses there were literally 1800s, 1700s, like unchanged. This place was like slightly modernised. You know, there's takeaways and there is stuff there. It's not like, you know, it's a normal town, but it's like, it's been like sort of slow, gradual, and the vast majority of it was like the same as it clearly was, you know, for hundreds of years. These people have been living the same way of life for hundreds of years, but they're telling everybody else that there's no issues and that they're like, I don't know, big. I'm just scratching my back with a thing. See, I've got a thing and I'm scratching. I'm using it and I'm scratching. And they're telling other people like, you're bigots or whatever, you're scum. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know, you have no idea what you're talking about. Because I didn't feel safe. I don't feel that unsafe anyway, but I guarantee you the lady wrote that in her window. You know it was a lady. And the people living there with all that stuff, I guarantee you they wouldn't want to walk around where I live at 11:30 at night, like I was walking around their town, or maybe a bit earlier, but like just waltzing around a bit, like having a laugh. You don't want to come around here and do that. I promise you. I promise you don't. You don't want to go to like Birmingham and do that, or Bradford, or any of these places really. You don't want to go Grays and do that. Not really. I'm telling you now. But this is literally always the way. Did you see that? I saw some... It can't be real. It's in London, Riohan. Wow, even you guys have heard of that? Even you guys have heard about that? Yeah, it's going to be big. I think there's going to be... the police agitate. Do you know... I'm not going to stand on one side or the other, but do you know about on January 6th, do you know the stuff about the guys turning up in balaclavas and like combat trousers and stuff like that? Do you know anything about that? Anyone seen anything about that? About when you get these protests and you'll see guys that turn up and they're all masked up and that and they agitate, model bird. Do you know about that? That's happened here. That's happened here multiple times. So they turn up, the police do it. They turn up, or the police will turn up and try and instigate so that then they can move in and clear the riots. Ain't that just Antifa? No. That is Antifa, but the police do that shit as well. Antifa still exists, like in some capacity, I think. I don't know if they're called that, but those people just like, those people follow any banner, Juzzy. But the police will turn up, or like paid agitators will turn up and hang out in the crowds with masks and like whatever else, and instigate violence and instigate problems and try and make something where there isn't. It happened on January 6th. It's happened in the UK. Plants, 100%. 100% real harm. So, one of the big things on September 13th is that there's going to be no face coverings. They're telling everyone no face coverings. If you wear a face covering, we're going to take it off you. Because these people are hiding amongst you. These people are hiding amongst you. Yeah, exactly, Model Bird. These people are hiding amongst the crowd, paid by the state to try and shut down because it's the wrong type of people. Because when you march for Palestine, that's okay. When you march for Palestine, that's okay. Right, listen to this. You know what? Listen to this. This is the state of the UK. During the Southport riots last year, yeah, Riohan, I can believe it because they're scared there's going to be so many people with England flags saying we fucking hate you to the government and everybody else. We fucking hate your guts. I hate their guts. This is the state of the UK right now. This is the state of the UK. Last year, Southport riots, yeah? And we all know people being arrested for tweets. One guy shouted at a police dog. He got 2 years. One guy was shouting, Allah, Allah. Who the fuck is Allah? He got 2 years. Right? He got 2 years. We had that, she's been let out, but we had that Lucy Connolly girl, got 3 years for a tweet. They've let her out because there was such public stink about it. But a few weeks ago, a Labour councillor at a pro-Palestine march was talking about the other protesters, and he said, if you want my opinion, talking about not the far right, just other people who were protesting against the migration, basically, that we should, he's a Labour councillor, he works for the Labour Party, it's on video, he says we should cut all their throats and be done with it. And then the crowd cheer and start chanting, free, free Palestine. He got arrested and the jury and the judge were like, nah, he didn't mean that. Does that sound right to you? Does that sound right to you? Riohan, I hope Lucy Connolly goes via America and takes our judiciary to the cleaners. I hope she takes our judiciary to the cleaners. Nigel, I don't really rate Farage anymore. Nigel was just paid opposition. Nigel, 10 years ago, stood for something. Now he's just... I don't buy Nigel now. I don't buy them. I think now they're kind of close to power. He's just... he's softening on everything. But, regardless, I hope Lucy Connolly goes to the US, and I hope they use some sort of international thing and say that she was a political prisoner. She was abused when she was in prison. She was held as a political prisoner. And I hope they take our judiciary to the fucking cleaners. I hope she sues them for everything they fucking got. I hope it destabilises our judicial system and it all falls apart. That's what I hope. Innit, boy? What? What? What do you want? Do you want to go out? Maybe. It's a joke in this country right now, bro. But the 13th, I want to go, but I don't think I will because I'm on bail. And they're just looking for any reason. That day they'll be looking for any reason to arrest anyone for anything. Because far right. And the orders will have come down from above. What? 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 Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near it real hard. I want to, but it's just, It will be peaceful. It will be. I'm telling you, the vast majority of it will be peaceful. If there's a tiny little bit of trouble, I guarantee you that that's what you will all see on the news. You will all see that some far right protesters like fought the police, even though there's going to be like 1 million odd people watching screens. It's a whole day thing. They've done loads of them already, by the way, and they've all been peaceful and they've been policed properly. What boy? He killed a spider last night, Mr. Japir Pinhead. I see him fucking with something. I was like, what's he doing? I was sitting there and he's like putting his paw out, scraping it to him and that. And I'm like, and he's like that. Then he's getting it in his mouth and he's going and doing all this shit and going and then whacking it. And like, what are you doing? And I finally walk over after it's like 10 minutes and it was a big old spider. And he just like crushed it and smushed it with his paw, had it in his mouth. Oh yeah, Riahan. That honestly, this is not hyperbole. This is literally this is probably the worst government that has ever been in power in my lifetime. This is one of the most authoritarian, anti-democratic, anti-liberal governments that's ever been in power in my lifetime. And if someone tells you that it's not, there's some fucking imbecile stooge that's flying a fucking political colour and they're sticking with their fucking tribe. Because I've said this openly, I've voted for fucking everyone through the course of my life as my opinions changed and I've grown wiser as a person. And there's a bunch of dent heads that still stick to Labour because Labour's the working class. If you think Labour, the current Labour government, is for the working class and it's this weird old thing of evil Tories, you need your fucking empty head examined. Because you ain't been paying attention to our politics for the last 20 years, if that's how myopic your view is. 100%. Minor parties, they do, but they're basically like non-existent. They'll get they'll get an MP or two around the country. There'll be a few independents. Exactly, Model Bird. Exactly. Yeah, there's a few independents around that stand on like local issues that will be elected. But for the vast majority, it's Labour and Tory, which are not. Years and years ago, it was like left wing, right wing. They're not. They're basically the same. Labour and the Tories are basically the same. They're the same people. They want the same overall outcome. They both wanted to leave the EU. They both wanted to stay in the EU. They both want open borders. They both are up for all of this curtailing of free speech and all this bullshit that's going on. They're up for all of that. They all think that not liking migration is right wing. They're literally the same fucking people. Just like George Carlin said, it's one big club and you ain't in it. What does he say? You had the illusion of choice. There used to be 5 major oil companies. Now there's only 4. Soon there's going to be 3. But if you want a bagel, you can get 25 different types. Is that what he says? Because you have the illusion of choice. It's one big club and you ain't in it. Yeah. Correct. Geezer knew what he was talking about. All these people are on the same team. And it's like he says about you don't have to have some sit down and informed conspiracy. When all their interests align, and it's obvious, and their interests ain't yours at all. It's fucking obvious. It's very fucking obvious, my guy. I should just become a political channel, shouldn't I? Hell no. Hell no, I don't want that smoke. Hell no, I don't want that. Plus, I'm good for debating and stuff like that, but I ain't got the energy. I ain't got the energy to deal with these fucking idiots. Like, I haven't got the energy to deal with stupid people. Rihan, it will just come down to, when you ask these people, it's just like the most rose-tinted, like, ridiculous, oh, they're poor people and they're from a terrible part of the world and they're struggling and we've got evil rich people here and they've got money and this and that and we've got so much. And I guarantee you, vast majority of the time, these people who want it all live in areas that are not affected by it. They're all living in areas that are not affected by it. Just like where I went on the weekend. Really pretty, got like English culture, British culture, heritage, all that sort of stuff. Relatively untouched. And these are the people that are saying, whoa, all of you lot have to do this. You should try bringing it to their town and see how fast they go. Hang on a minute. What do you mean we're going to knock down this really old set of buildings to build flats that are going to price your children out of the market? Hang on a minute. What do you mean I can't walk down my high street anymore because there's like shops and there's people hanging out and my little girl doesn't feel safe? What do you mean she can't walk to school anymore because there's people catcalling her and she's going to be sexually accosted by like some guy that doesn't even speak English and doesn't understand that grabbing women's tits in public is not socially acceptable in this country? What do you mean? You can't do that to my town. You can do it to yours. Do it to the poor people. Just don't bring it near me. If I don't know about it, it's fine. It ain't a politician's kids, is it? At that Southport, when that Southport stabbing happened last year, whose little girls were murdered? It weren't politicians, was it? It weren't in some rich, affluent white area, was it? It's in some working class area, so it's working class kids again. Working class kids. I know, Rihan, I saw about that. That's hilarious. Like, one of the most liberal, like, voting areas in the world. In the country, sorry, like, one of the most, like, highest, like, Democrat voting areas in the country. And then all of a sudden, all these people turn up there from like Somalia and wherever else, and all the people there go, hang on a minute, it's going to completely ruin our wonderful, idyllic community. Yeah, no shit. No shit, bro. Yeah, these people disgust me. And the thing is, like, it annoys me how you're painted as like, I don't know, as you're like a racist or you're ungrateful or you're a scumbag or something. Like, bro, I'm one of the most generous people. I mean, not like, I would say I'm a pretty generous person. Like the amount, and I'm not trying to blow my own fucking trumpet or something, but, oh fuck, didn't I have to make a thing for Juzzy? Whatever. Like, when I've got to make fitness stuff for people, it's normally because I forget, because I've got a bunch of them and I should just really write it down somewhere. But I give a bunch of my like time and effort and advice and stuff to people. Like, if something that I can give that I have that somebody else doesn't, like, I'll share. Doesn't bother me at all. So it's nothing to do with, you know, like, trying to be a cunt about it. No one can move here. No one can do anything. Like, bro, it's nothing to do with that. It's all been about the scale of change and assimilation. It's all been about the scale of the change and assimilation. Because if you bring in a few thousand people a year, or like 20,000 people or whatever it is, and they move to certain areas, even though we've already got ghettoised parts of the country because we've got other racial issues and stuff anyway, if you bring in a smaller amount of people and you've not got this weird, and your government haven't got this weird sort of guilt surrounding like themselves and their nation, then it's probably quite easy to assimilate a bunch of like Polish people and Albanians and wherever else, and we stick them here, and some of them are in London, and everyone speaks English, and we vet people, and we know who's coming in, and we see their passport, and that's cool. When you get 200,000 people in a year, do you know what? When I say 200,000 people, it's not. Last year, it was nearly 1 million. It was nearly 1 million people. we basically brought an entire, and not a small city, like a major city, into the country in 1 year. When you look at the stats, and I don't care if people don't like these figures because they're all true, when you look at the stats, most of these people are coming for unskilled work, or they're a net detriment to the economy itself. 60% of something like benefit claimants or UC are people that weren't born in the UK. It's something like 40 or 50% of housing in London is people that weren't born in the is either rented or lived in by people that weren't born in the UK. Like, the other day, I walked past an English guy who was homeless. He's on the street, living in a doorway. And I walked past and I looked and I was like, didn't they have a hotel room for him as well then? This cunt's living on the street, bro. It sounds cringe or it sounds like a cliche, but it's not, because we have got actual veterans with PTSD who need help and need the social safety net to catch them. And they're living on the street. And some dude from Eritrea, who we have no idea his name, where he come from, what he did over there, the sort of person he is, can turn up and be put in a 4-star hotel with a doctor and a dentist on site, with spending money, and be given a job at a delivery service. Some of them have come over that have been literal murderers. We've had literal murderers and rapists turn up on a boat, and because we don't know who they are, we just throw them in a thing and give them a job, and they're out in among the public. And the British taxpayer is funding it. The British taxpayer is funding it. The British taxpayer is also funding the government, who are using Serco to outbid British homeowners, landlords, people that want to rent and buy, because Serco and the government are giving bonuses and multiple year tenancies to businesses, hotels, like groups of flats, like property developers and owners. They're giving bonuses to people that will put up HMOs, they call them homes of multiple occupancy, where they can stick 10 migrants in there. They're using your tax money to undercut you in your own housing market, and they're giving your housing market to people that are turning up who've never paid a penny into this system, and for all you know, could be literal sex criminals, because that's already happened. And they're using your taxes to do it. They're using your taxes to do it. They're using yours and mine. That's why I've been on the system. I've been on the system and claimed for the kids and stuff like that. I don't give a shit. Years ago, I've used job seekers, like on and off. Having a social safety net has been fine, and I've like used it between jobs. You know, it's helped me. Now, I don't give a fuck. Benefits. I'll take whatever I can get from the system, because they're going to literally give it to somebody else that wasn't even born here anyway. They're going to give it to somebody else and take it away from my kids anyway. And then when I die, when my parents die, they're going to take a chunk of that money that they already paid tax on and give that to somebody else anyway. So I don't give a fuck, mate. Yeah, I think you should take your government for everything that it's got, because they're corrupt scumbags. I think everything that you can get out of your government, you should. I don't mean illegally. I don't mean like robbing people. But I mean, if you want to claim something bullshit, like something petty, fucking do it. Fucking do it, mate, because they don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your family. All they give a shit about is themselves. All they give a shit about is themselves. Making sure they stay in power, theirs are protected. Like, inheritance tax is insane. Inheritance tax. The idea it was supposed to stop a bunch of like rich people hiding their money or just transferring wealth from family to family. In reality, rich people can set it up in trusts and do all sorts of stuff, and it doesn't affect anyone. My dad worked his whole life and then retired semi-early. And for the pleasure of working his whole life, building a business, he got to die of cancer at 62 or 64 or whatever it was. And when he died, all of the money and the property and stuff like that he'd already paid he'd already been taxed multiple times on in some cases, and already worked his arse off for it. The government go, oh yeah, we want another bite of that, please. It makes you want to like, but bro, I can't even use the words on Twitch. I can't even use the words on Twitch. No, there's no one on this earth that can tell me that once your parents have bought a bunch of stuff and they've paid taxes on it and paid into the system, that the government is owed another 40% bite at their death. At their death, when you're at your lowest. I'd end people's lives over that shit. Do you know what I mean? That's how angry that should make you. That's murderous. That should make you murderous. That the vultures in the government want to come and pick the bones of your relations' corpses after you've already paid, and they've already paid the relevant taxes for whatever it is. A house, a car, money. They've literally paid all of it. And then they die, and your present from the government for them dying is, we want some more of their money, please. Give us the dead person's money. Oh, by the way, you've only got a few weeks to do it, otherwise we're going to fine you. When that stuff, those things come through, bro, this society is keeping a lot of people alive that should be strung up. Can you imagine? Turning up and someone's dead. We want a piece of that now. Oh, you finished crying because you know your what's name died early or suddenly? We want a piece of that now. Gimme. Do ya? Unbelievable, my dude. Unbelievable it is. Literally. Staggering country. Staggering country, mate. Oh, fuck me. Absolutely wild. But, you know, I can't see myself going anywhere. It'll literally be a retire to the countryside in the middle of nowhere jobby. It'll be a get as far away from it as possible. Watch it all continue to descend into chaos and disarray on television and die before it gets really, really bad. And make sure that as I get older to convince all of the children to leave the country. Convince all of the children to study abroad, look for things abroad, America, Eastern Europe, and fucking leave. And just fucking leave. How bad is that? And I'm quite patriotic and stuff. I'm very patriotic. But how bad is that? I would rather my children leave this country. Given how it is and how it's going, if someone asked me tomorrow, you can like guarantee it. What do you choose? They stay here or they all emigrate to wherever? Oh, 100%. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. And I love it here. There's nowhere like this place. I've been to a bunch of places around the world. There's nowhere like here. The fields and the countryside and that, there's nowhere like here. But they shouldn't stay here. They should definitely not stay here. It would just be silly. But yeah, that's how... that's the state of affairs, dude. That is the current state of affairs. Oh. Annoying. But yeah, on a lighter note, there is no lighter note. On a lighter note, it's light outside. I guess that's a literal lighter note. On a lighter note, the sun's out. I don't think it really counts. Oh. I don't know if that really counts. On a lighter note, I did a good leg workout at the weekend. Up to much, no. I'm going to tidy up and make things presentable, and then I'm probably going to stream. Model Bird with the 5 bits, you are more than welcome. I've got nothing else to do on here. And often, you know, sometimes we talk about this sort of stuff, and people get upset, but I ain't gonna lie about how I feel. I'm not gonna lie about how I feel. Like, I'll use tact depending on the situation, but I ain't gonna lie about how I feel or try and downplay this, how I think things are. You lost 6 kilograms, bro. That's a lot. Keep fucking going, dude. Keep going. There is, on a small lighter note, I didn't, when I say I learned 2 new Street Fighter characters, I didn't. I didn't learn them because that would imply that I could actually be good with them. But I at least know their moves now. I played with a couple of other characters. On 6 this was. I was like, oh yeah. One of them was one from Third Strike. Like, one of them, not that it's a secret, but one of them was Ken. But Ken's got a bunch of the same moves. Apart from the Jinrai stuff. But that's kind of like on one button. So it weren't that bad. Bro, Ken feels quite good. Like all this shit goes together tight. I guess they always make Ken pretty strong. But yeah, that was fun. I still suck though. And I learned, what's his name, how to do some of it. I know how to do all his moves, but I don't really know how to play him. But I fucked around with Bison and done a bunch of his combo trials. And kind of learned how to actually do charge moves. So that was fun as well. Like, I'm kind of quite getting the hang of it. But yeah, keep going, dude. Whatever you're doing, Mr. Japia is working, so just keep doing it. Whatever you're doing is working, so keep doing it. If you start to stagnate and shit, you can adjust and whatever else. But if you're in a good routine, and it's working, don't change it. Unless it's to go harder or do more, or because you feel motivated to do that. If that's if it's a positive hey, I'm gonna do 2 runs a week or whatever it is, and you feel good about it, then fucking go for it. But if it's just for the sake of it, people talk about wanting to add exercises or do this and that, and it's why? To try it, if you go to a gym and there's a machine you ain't used, I don't mean it like that, but if you've got a solid routine, and then they're like, oh, I wonder if I should train that more, something, and just to change it up, and you're like, why? Why do you need to? I've trained don't know about the exact same way, but kind of the same way since I started. The foundation's always been kind of there, whether it's be different exercises, I got better rep ranges, stuff like that. I've definitely, it's evolved a little bit, but the same basics and all that, it's just been the same. All this time. I've never really needed to change that much stuff. It's all about intensity, man. 30 minutes of training with weights, pretty good, dude. How many times a week are we doing this? How many times a week are we doing this sort of thing? Again, when I started, I was a lot more. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 3 times a week is banging, bro. 3 times a week is excellent. If you're in a nice routine and you're feeling good, don't mess with it. If you want to add some time, on the weight room, or add some time to the cardio, it's not going to hurt. But if it's consistent and you're not beat up and you're not thinking, I've got to go and do it today and all that sort of stuff. If you're in the zone, just keep going. Just keep going. If you're in the zone,
Just keep going. You'll keep progressing. Because it's all about it being sustainable. That's the hard part. Like, again, motivating and all that sort of stuff. It has to be sustainable as well. Like, people do these insane crash diets and they'll like have some ridiculous restrictive diet for like 3 weeks or 3 months or something like that, and you'll just crash out after. Or like, I think a lot of these people, not all of them, but a lot of these people that use these like weight loss drugs, all that sort of stuff, I think a lot of those people were going to rebound and crash back out of it. Some of them it will help and it will work, but those things they don't teach you the mental stuff, which is the important bit. The mental stuff is the important part. Like, once you have the discipline and the drive, once you have the drive and you couple that with like the discipline to like keep doing it, and then you can apply that to a bunch of stuff. Like, it's hard, obviously, I get it. But some of those weight loss drugs and them, like, they don't quite teach that. They teach the wrong thing. Or like just a crash diet doesn't really teach that. It doesn't teach you to be sustainable, you know? Because ultimately it's got to last for years as well. I know I'm like a broken record with this fitness shit, but ultimately it's got to last for years, doesn't it? That's the thing. Ultimately it's got to last for years. Sarah, how you doing? Yeah, it's got to last for years. It's got to be sustainable for the rest of your life. Like, you can't just stop now. Like, you'll get to your ideal weight and you'll look nice and defined, but you can't stop. You haven't got to go super hard, but you can't stop. Because then you're going to go, like, you might put on a bit more weight, or you might, like, be a bit softer, lose some definition, depending on what you want. But yeah, it's about building it into your lifestyle. That's the hardest thing to convey as a PT. Well, that's what I used to sort of tell clients, like, if you are a good PT, really, if you're training someone for something, that's different. Like, then you're kind of like, you're a coach then. Even if I'm a personal trainer, if someone says, oh, I want you to like help me get up to like this certain weight or whatever else, you're kind of a little bit more than that. But if you're just a PT that's helping like regular people, a good PT is one that gets rid of their clients, because they should be with you for a while. There's always going to be a few people that just want to come because they don't like a gym and they want to gas for an hour and do a bit of like work. But really, you should be instilling in people doing this at home, doing more, going to a gym, doing your own thing. It's not just about me. Really, you should be trying to not get rid of them, but you're trying to put that in their head. It's not about going through some special workout. Most PTs are bullshit. As in, like, what workouts you could be doing. And, we're going to get you to stretch and do this at the start. You don't do none of that. You can get a stronger core and you can do all that sort of stuff, but like, you don't need to do none of that. You just need to stick to the basics. Look at my hair, it's going wild. Not big portions, bro. Just keep doing it. Calorie, I mean, with big weight loss like that, most of it's going to be a diet. Most of it's going to be diet. You got to offset that with cardio and your weights, which is what you're doing, because you're building a bit more muscle, so you're upping your body's like calorie requirements anyway, because it's built some muscle, and you're creating a deficit because you're using more energy. Pan random with the gun show, because you're using more energy. But yeah, the vast majority is going to come from your diet. Especially as you start to get lighter, it starts to get harder. It's going to be about clipping your diet. Gun show. Pretty good. Pretty good, wasn't it? Look at that. It's pretty good, dude. We've come a long way. We've come a long way from like 150 pounds, whatever I was at the lightest, maybe 145. We've come a long way from there. That was a long time ago. Those days were long ago. I still kind of remember it. My mind's just warped anyway. Still, I'm not special, chat. If I did it, if I can do some big transformation, anyone can. Whether it's losing weight, gaining weight, whatever. If I did it, anyone can. Literally anyone. Because I'm not special. I ain't got no special brain power that other people ain't. Definitely. Definitely not. What time is it? I'm going to say 1:30. It's just gone one. Yeah, 5 past. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. It is hard. But the more you do it, the easier it gets. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And you're 32, you still got loads of time. I didn't start until my late 20s, and I wasn't like very overweight, but I still was not like, you know, I'd always had like, just like average, but like I was just a skinny guy, like just low body fat. I had like abs and stuff, but I was very like, I guess I had like a shape, but I'd never really like had like a lot of muscle, ever really. I didn't start until I was 26, 27. And even then, I'd put on a little bit of weight and I was doing more cardio. So I got lighter before I got bigger. So you got all the time. You got loads of time. And I'm nearly 40, chat. I'm nearly 40. The fuck? Yeah. And then I went like, we went like skinnier because I was just doing lots of cardio and started getting into it, and I was like, okay, got into bodybuilding now, and then we just sort of went whoop, newbie gains, went, and then I got bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger for like the next however many years, very slowly, and then we got to like somewhere near to the genetic peak, I reckon. And then we were like, okay, it's time to reach for the naughty shelf now. Not everyone reaches up for the naughty shelf. I did. So we was like, with the gear. And then we went even more. Most people, I mean, they probably would real hard. I know what you mean. You're more critical of yourself, aren't you? Holiday for 40. No, I'm going to be in prison. No, I'm not going anywhere on holiday for my 40th birthday. I'm definitely going to be in prison. I can feel it. It'd be interesting, though. Having your 40th birthday in prison. It'd be a story, at least. I mean, 100%, but you know, sure. You can just say no and pretend. No burying my head in the sand. Should we do one more chat? It's bank holiday. Just one little wafer thin. Shout out Mr. Creosote. Anyone know what that is? Just one wafer thin mint. Well, I haven't seen that for years. I am 39. I turned 39 in July.
But yeah, when I was 29, I didn't look like this. When I was 29, I was like, I'm not sure. Like, it is Monty Python, you're correct. When I was 29, I was like, probably still on the... I would think I was, yeah. I would have been like a bit more shapely then. Yes, I'm at 86, baby. I don't know what that makes me. I think one of the oldest millennials. Isn't it? Something like that. We were right on the technological cusp, our sort of generation. We got all the old tech and the new tech, and we like assimilated it all because we was like children. It was all like as it was all crossing over. We got all of it. We got the good and the bad. Oh, dial up internet. I saw some. It was a YouTube short, and it said about making you feel old. It said, this is how this Zoomer developer thought you insert VCRs, and it was a clip from Cyberpunk, and they put the VCR in, but they put it in like long ways, and it just looked really it just looked so unnatural. Like, it was funny, dude. This is the way they said it. This Zoomer developer. Oh, Zoomer is the worst one. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. Even the word sounds like... Oh, bro. They don't know anything. They don't know anything. 93 is still good. The 90s were fun from what I remember. From what I remember, the 90s were fun. I wish I'd been paying more attention. I wish I'd been paying more attention back then. Zillennial, Kojima World Order, how you doing? The Kojima World Order. Yeah, I was too busy, but sadly in the 90s I was too busy going to school and stuff. Okay. Just one more for a little bit, chat, and then I'll get on, and then I'll keep on keeping on. Oh God, Kojima, no. Kojima's infected my brain. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. He's not that crazy. I mean, he is, but... I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I think the remade, remastered, jazzed up version of Metal Gear Solid 3 looks soulless, and the characters don't... I don't know why none of them look the same, but they just don't... It just looks soulless. Like, it just does. I don't know what it is, why, it just does. And the old one looks far better. I don't know, Seru, I don't know why they changed so many of them. Like, and it's not that the game looks bad. I don't mean it like that. But just... Some of them games have just got like such an iconic aesthetic. The way some of the characters looked. And they all just look almost like caricatures. It was like if... I don't know, bro. Like if someone had like half-ass copied, like it's like the big film comes out and then the subpar like TV show based off the film comes out 6 years later
with a bunch of other actors playing the people that were in the film, that were a bunch of better actors. Do you know what I mean? It's like got that sort of feel. Like someone's tried to like redo it and they've just gone for what they think it's supposed to be, and it just looks like just generic. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I guess, to be fair, I guess you're always going to have that sort of criticism of when these old games come out, but not all of them feel like that. Not like some of the Resident Evils, I didn't like every single one of them, but the Resident Evils don't feel like that. There is still some like sort of issues with the new remade Resident Evils, but it's not that it necessarily don't look the same, or the whole vibe. Like the vibe of a lot of them, even though it's like 3D versus that fixed camera, like of Leon and everything else, you're still like up for it, or it's still like, that wasn't the issue, like Mr. X and whatever else. But when I watch the videos for the Metal Gear one, it's not the gameplay so much, it's all the characters and how it looks. I'm like, they all look so ugly. They all look so fucking awful. But yeah, I'm not getting it. It's going to be like expensive as well. It's about full price or whatever. I ain't getting it. I played the original last year still. It's still brilliant. It's definitely my favourite. I will say that. 3 is, after playing them all again, apart from 5. 3 is definitely my favourite. Yeah, I mean, I get why they've done it, right? People like that game. I do get it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just me personally, they just looked ugly and weird. I just didn't like how anything looked. They just looked a bit ugly and weird to me. Yeah, the Resident Evil one, I don't, 4 was okay. 4 did feel a little bit, like they missed a step. I don't know if that's because 4 was a bit newer and you didn't feel like it needed a remake or something, but my hair's so wild. 4 did feel like a misstep to me. I didn't finish that one. I beat 2 and I beat 3. But 4 felt a bit like, I don't know. First game to make you shed a tear. What part? Seeing the boss die. I wonder what the first game that made me cry was. There was probably something that I've forgotten when I was a little kid, or at least a kid. There was probably something. I definitely remember one of the first ones as an adult, or like young adult or whatever, was when, spoiler alert, in Red Dead 1, when John Marston dies. Bro, when John Marston died, I was crushed. I was absolutely crushed when John Marston dies. A 3D remake of 1 or 2 would be brilliant, wouldn't it? That'd be brilliant. Pretty harsh when the boss dies, though. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think other moments like that. But it would be, again, much older, like maybe some sort of point and click. Yeah, I remember when, Dom died, it was pretty rough. Don't know if it made me get teary, but yeah, that's pretty rough. The thing with Dom's death is that you knew it was coming as well. In Red Dead 1, you didn't really know.
No, you didn't know at all that John Marston was going to die. Really, even at the last bit, it lets you dead eye everyone. It's kind of hinted to, but you think he's like gotten away, and then you're just like, no, what? But yeah, in Gears, in a little bit in 2, but all the way through 3, it kind of built it up, didn't it? And you're just like, bro, no. And then he like blows himself the fuck up. That's quite good because they used the music from the original trailer. They used the Mad World bit without the singing, as that whole thing is like exploding. Ragnarok. I'm trying to think what else from like years ago. There's probably some stuff in like JRPGs that I didn't play. But I'm trying to think from when I was a kid. Like, it would again have been like point and click adventure stuff with stuff that still had a rich story. And I can't really think now what else it would have been. Yeah, there is a clip of me. There is a clip of me, like at the start of the final cutscene, and there's a clip of somewhere where I'm talking, and I looked it up because I knew it was long, and I looked it up, right? And the end cutscene of Metal Gear 4 is 74 minutes, I think, or 71, something like that. And I'm just there on the stream going, what? And it says, I'm sure the bit that I read, I don't know if this is still in date, but it holds the world record for longest ending cutscene in a video game. I'm sitting there going, 71, whatever it is. 71 minutes, dude. You beat up Liquid and then you sit there for over an hour and watch the end cutscene. When I was a kid, the end of Metal Gear Solid 2 felt long, and that's nothing on Metal Gear Solid 4. I say kid, when I was younger. Like, the end of Metal Gear 2 felt long. Metal Gear 4 was something else. That was a wild post-credits. Oh, like post-game. Solidus. Yeah, I mean, he's not even like one of the most forgettable characters, is he? Is he more or less forgettable than Major Tom in Metal Gear Solid 3? Who's more forgettable, Solidus Snake or Major Tom? Solidus Snake was in the game and he's still forgettable, so maybe that works against him because he's actually in the game. And you still go into Metal Gear 3 and the rest of them thinking, yeah, who was that guy again? Wasn't he some other Snake? What's going on? Something? And then, didn't the story become the arm of Liquid? It wasn't really Liquid Snake. It was nanomachines, or he thought it was Liquid, but it wasn't really Liquid, even though he literally has his, like, melted arm, like, grafted onto his. The story gets so insane. Ocelot was just playing around. But isn't that, like, still kind of where the story went, right? And it wasn't really Liquid at all. I can't really remember. But yeah, like the story goes, just play through them and don't worry about that bit. And the good characters hang out and the boring ones. The Ultimate Spy, yeah. I still like the bit in Metal Gear Solid 2, we've talked about this, when they're on the top of the fucking... When they're on the top of the... when he just... Right. There's the bit where they're there and he just looks at him and goes, brother! But they're not really brothers. Okay? But they're just on the top of the Metal Gear Ray. And he's there with his hands. And he's like, Liquid! And he just dives
after the Metal Gear. Snake just dives effectively into the sea. Is it like the Hudson Bay or whatever? Effectively into the sea after the giant metal robot. With no propulsion system, no way of like getting it, and he just dives after the giant metal, like the giant what would be like, what would you call it, like that goes in the water. I can't, the words escape me. Not subterranean, but that equivalent for going in the water, like military, like it's not even a tank. Just like, it's just like a giant weapon. What's the word? Subnautical. Maybe that is the word. I don't think it is. Whatever. It can get wet. That's the main rule. It can get wet. Snake's like, I'm just going to dive after it. We're just going after it like that. Don't worry about it. Do we know why Vampire Guy can get shot in the head? Nanomachines or something? Again? And then there's not nanomachines. And then there's like Fox die. And then it makes him old, but then it doesn't. And then he doesn't die, but he's got really old. Yeah, I started playing that. It weren't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I never finished it, but it weren't too bad. It was fun to play. We like Raiden turning up randomly as a ninja to just like destroy things. It's very weird. Like Raiden, vanishes after Metal Gear 2 or something, just goes crazy. He vanishes after Metal Gear 2, goes crazy and gets turned into a cyborg ninja. Like, I've never seen the ending of Revengeance, no. Or Rising, or whatever it was called. The one with Raiden as the ninja, no. Yeah, it wasn't really a stealth game, was it? It's definitely a hack and slash game, as I recall. It's pretty good. Ninja in like very what was the one game? Didn't they make some zombie game? And it was absolutely, people basically pretended it didn't exist. Right? Isn't that a thing? Or is that another franchise? I'm sure it's Metal Gear. I'm sure there's a Metal Gear zombie game. Yeah, after they fired Kojima and proceeded to like, did you know how much that probably annoyed him? It tarnished his legacy. Bro. I bet, to be fair, even though the games are great, I bet he's a fucking like lunatic to work with. When he's on one of his artistic ones, just like, this is what the story should be. And that's what they have to say. Bro. That's why Metal Gear Solid story is what it is. Dudes can't write for shit. But it does make good, you know, higher, like, sort of attention to detail. Like, sort of like, you know, he goes quite in on some things, doesn't he, old Kojima? And even though sometimes it's like kind of excessive and you're like, why is there so much what's name on this? At the same time, I guess it's that mad, like, what's name genius part that gets like really good games like that get made. And they're not all just like generic what's names getting churned out like half these other ones now. Wow, I have a newfound love for Kojima. Not really, he's still insane. Not really, he's still insane. Should have got that horror game though. That would have been good. Even that, and then he showed that one game that just no one knows nothing about that now. Where they were like, yeah, there's people walking around and like look in the reflections and stuff, and you're like, okay. There was that thing. But should have got that PT game. That'd have been good. The reason... I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Lalo, how you doing? Big ups on that. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Even though, like, I get what people would mean, but yeah, it's in universe, isn't it? So just like, I get they're going for something else, but if it's in, it's like if they made a Hitman game, but it was like a first-person shooter, but it was in his universe, it would be weird, wouldn't it? Like, this is what I'd get what you're saying completely. Like, yeah, they're saying, well, it's going to be something else, but like, it was still weird. Oh, because, well, you mean like I never played any of the old like SNES ones or whatever it was on. I never played any of them. Sadly. I'm behind. It's okay. I'm looking at my own ugly reflection, sadly. I'm getting full, excellent view of the bed hair. In all its glory, actually. I did myself down there. Glorious bed hair is what we're going to go for. Yeah, just completely like revamp those. Yeah, I've never played any of them. I've never played any of those ones. But yeah, revamp those would be good. Because like Big Boss is just like dead and shit or whatever. They've got him in like a bag breathing or whatever it is in Metal Gear 4. But then like he isn't really dead. It's just like bits of a body. But then the real dude's like in the wheelchair. But like, I don't even remember. I played them last year and I've beat them all multiple times before and I still don't remember. This is how weird it got. That's how weird it got. Probably just sneezes now. The person in the bag was solid as what? Because of the DNA. But like, okay. Okay. Yeah, he's the Major Tom. He's the other forgettable guy. Yeah. Yeah. I remember. I do remember, but it's just like, bro, really? And then, yeah, he's Big Boss. Again, two of the most the Big Boss guy that you hear all about all this time are some of the most forgetful characters in the game. The fake Big Boss, and then like actual Big Boss is just like boring dude on the radio, and then guy in wheelchair. He gives him a little puff on the cigar. Drag plays it, huh? Yeah, but Draggers does like speed runs. And he used him for body parts, brilliant. Draggers does like speed runs of Metal Gear Solid, dude. He's a savage. He does like all the achievements. I'm sure in Metal Gear Solid 3, he's doing a run, or he's done a run where one of them things where he unlocked every achievement in the game in one run. And he was either working on that or he had done it. So one run of the game, unlock everything. What? Actual boss is in some hyperbolic, you mean like time chamber? Oh my lord. Kojima needs more writers. He needs just a little bit like, we need to tie this in, Kojima. Yeah, those difficulties, bro. It's too savage for me. It's too savage for me. Then I mean, it's cool. It's more about learning the line, isn't it? Like, it's cool. I was okay at Hitman, like, but I couldn't play it on the hardest settings. I could do Hitman on like hard with like, probably like, I think Blood Money or maybe one of the newer ones on like, it's like no HUD and all this sort of stuff, and then just like with the three saves or just checkpoints or something like that. I can do Hitman games like that. Metal Gear I'm not as proficient at. Hitman's cool though. It's different, kind of different. Yeah, at the very end. Oh, the Metal Gear 5, it's like not even him again. It's like some guy that had like, he's like a body double, or they like did him like a face transplant or some bullshit. Something like that. Something like that. Ugh. Metal Gear 5 don't even like... That one doesn't have... Yeah, that's right. That's right. And he's got like a fake arm, and like they got all this mad technology. But it's like the 50s or something. Or the 60s or whatever. Good game. Like, it's a good game. I just kind of played that as if it wasn't really attached to the Metal Gear story. Does that make sense? Yeah, the 80s, that's right. I just kind of played it as if it wasn't really attached to Metal Gear. Because I didn't mean like I thought about it like that. It just seemed so, especially with the voice, it just seemed kind of separate, so separate from all the others. Still good game. But the story, at the end of that, I was kind of just going through the missions and like shooting my way through. I remember there being like lots of guns and like sniping and good stealth and that. You're sneaking around. I remember it being good. I haven't played it for ages. I really should install it and play it again. I only ever beat that one once. But I never really had no desire. With the other ones, the story and stuff, you want to go back, and with that one, I don't even remember the story of it. Like throughout the game where you keep going back to that big like base, like the big shell looking base or whatever it's called, Outer Haven, and you're like upgrading your shit. I don't even really remember the story, like in game, what was happening now. Any of it. I don't really remember the end. I remember at the end you beat the game and you like have like a final fight, and then you go back to like the big base, but you can keep doing the missions like again, but they're numbered and the number keeps going up, and you start redoing the story missions, but stuff at the Outer Haven place keeps progressing, or there's new cutscenes or some shit. The end of the game was weird as hell. I don't really understand. I don't really remember. I just did some big fight, kind of felt like I beat the story, beat the game, and then it just kind of kept going, and I went, okay. That's about as much as I remember. Yeah, because of the story or because they fired him or whatever happened. Mad Kojima.
Lots of things didn't happen. Bro. Craziness. You 100% in that one. You're brave. Yep, that one. Let me see this. Help. It's okay, chat. We're not going to knock it off. Everything's going to be fine. Oh my god, I misspelled it. Are you being real? I actually misspelled it. Are you for real? There we go. It worked. Right. Thanks for hanging out, chat. Oh, look, we got Cat Cam, look. You okay over there, sir? After you're like eating, being normal, and then running around like a lunatic and howling like a wolf for like 5 minutes or whatever it was. We chill now? Yeah? Yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm glad we could work it out. Now I'm going to go tidy all my shit. Right. I'll be back later, chat. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.